Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Danny Jacob defeats the game and tough Sergey Derevyanchenko. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, and Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working now. I'm enjoying my night of boxing. A lot of boxing on World Boxing Super Series. Did a video about Regis Prograis defeating Terry Flanagan. He looked good in that fight. For more, check that video. And also, this is my post-fight for Jacobs Derevyanchenko. Now, HBO's going out of the boxing business. This was a good last card. You know, it's a triple header. Congrats to Heather Hardy. She cleaned up her first victory in a hard-fought rematch. And then Machado looked really good, got a first-round knockout. And then Jacobs was tested, but ultimately prevailed, got a split decision win over former gym mate and sparring partner. They were both trained by Jacobs' current trainer, Andre Rozier, at a place and time, so they know each other well. And it showed up here because both guys were tough and they knew a bit about each other. Jacobs got the split decision. I don't think it... To me, I thought Jacobs clearly won. It wasn't really a split decision per se. I think Derevyanchenko was tough game, but he lost in the first stanza of the fight. He lost a lot. Plus the first round, he got knocked down. So that was a 10-8 round off top. And I think he rallied. He got a second win about round 10 and 11. He did really good. But all in all, it was a good fight. It was a good middleweight fight. And the new Daniel Jacobs, he's the new IBF middleweight champion. These were the two highest ranking middleweights after Triple G got stripped of his title. And I thought Jacobs, he did what he's supposed to do with a veteran. Both guys made each other tired, got tired. I think Derevyanchenko got tired first, but I think Jacobs got tired from being busy, being active, and, you know, being forced to fight a rough, rugged guy who had amateur experience that knew him. And I think Derevyanchenko was tired because of the early body work Jacobs did. I think Jacobs should have stuck to that a bit more, and he might have been able to come up with the stoppage or another knockdown. But along the fight, I think he got away from the body attack, because if you look at the fight, you watch the replay, or if you watched it, Derevyanchenko was breathing hard as fuck, and sort of like, you know, taking some big sighs and stuff. So he was definitely winded in that mid-round. And if you just, you know, dig them guts out, pause, then I think he might have been able to get the stoppage just because of the attrition. But Jacobs, it looked like he got clipped in the second round after he knocked down Derevyanchenko in the first round. So, you know, it was some good back and forth action. Max Kellerman post-fight asked Jacobs about did he get buzzed? He said, I seen the light, you know, I seen some stars. Like, this guy's tough. He's tough as nails. I put him in with all the guys I've been in. I put him up there, like, in terms of like how game and tough. This is some good work, basically. He said, including everybody, including Triple G. And to me, this is exactly why Triple G. This looks real bad for Triple G to me, by the way. And we're gonna talk about this more in the live stream. But to me, why it looks bad for Triple G is because there's nothing you could say about a fight like this. Jacobs keeps fighting the guys that are tough but kind of low reward. Jacobs deserves a big, huge paid, like a Canelo fight or whatever fight, you know, a Charlo fight, whatever fight he wants. Andre with a big fat ass paycheck. This is his fourth undefeated fighter in a row, and he arguably beat all four of them. I thought he beat Triple G straight up, you know, and I'm not the only one. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Sr., Canelo, Eddie Hearn, and a slew of other people, Joey Spencer, all had Jacobs winning. You know, Peter Quillen, I talked to him, same thing. So I know it's not just me. So even if you think Triple G won, it was still a fight where Triple G, people seen vulnerability. And you notice Canelo took the Triple G fight, which it looked like he was hesitant to do, you know, but he took it after the Kell Brook and after the Danny Jacobs fight. Because we seen a guy that had been stopped before by Dimitri Perot go the distance with Triple G, when at that point he had like 21 stoppages in a row. So it's like, okay, that made Triple G a lot more human. And it kind of started with the Kell Brook fight, and then it was followed up with Jacobs. And then by the time Canelo got him, he had a draw with him, and then he came back correct in the second fight and beat him. Now Golovkin is no longer undefeated. But anyway, it looks bad on the behalf of Triple G, because you fought Vanes Martirosyan. This clearly would have been a better fight. You know, a rugged, tough Eastern European fighter who could take a punch. I think Derevyanchenko still has to work on some things. He needs to work on his hooks, and that's I'm not trying to segregate anybody, because like Lomachenko's from the Eastern European Ukraine background, and he don't fight like this. But a lot of the Eastern European fighters, they don't necessarily throw hooks, you know, frequently. You see that with Triple G. When Triple G's in with elite people, higher upper echelon competition, you see Canelo throwing hooks, you seen Jacobs throwing hooks and body attack, you see Triple G jabbing, you know. And I think Derevyanchenko he fits that mold too, where he's not throwing, like he could have threw a left hook, and I think that could have done wonders. It was just a back and forth type of fight. It looked like they were both doing the Philly shell on each other at different points. It was just a rugged fight. Maj Selesky and these were just rugged fights that people don't want to fight that style. You know, guys that are tough could take a punch, and you know they're gonna give you rounds, and you can't let off the gas. You can't, because in the 10th, 11th round, it looked like Derevyanchenko, he had the heart to keep going, because he was looking real winded, but he got a second win, and he showed an immense amount of heart, and he challenged and pushed Jacobs. You know, there was a couple times late where Jacobs, you know, had to bite down. Like, you can't get tired versus guys like that. So I definitely think Jacobs deserves a Canelo shot, and he did good work. I thought ultimately he won. In round 8, he had a nasty uppercut, well timed. His body shots were wearing down Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko did some good work too, mainly in the second round, 10th, 11th round. Those are the ones that kind of stand up. But even when he was doing good work in round 11, he instead of just capping it off and having that be one of his best rounds in several rounds, he let Jacobs come back and start bombing on him. And in the last 24 seconds or so, Jacobs started landing some shit. So he needs to work on his defense and stuff, because that's the bell rings right after that, and you let Jacobs. I still gave round 11 to Derevyanchenko, but in essence you kind of let that be the last impression on the judge's mind, you getting hit and giving up big shots, versus had you just moved around a little bit, or you know, jabbed and not got hit with those big shots, then it would have been a more dominant and more outstanding round for you. So he definitely needs to work on his defense. Derevyanchenko, he already has the grit and the toughness, and from what Jacob sounds and his record, it looks like he has punching power, because you know, Jacob said, I got buzzed and seen some stars at a point in time. And the other thing is, y'all gotta leave the man Jacobs alone with the chin shit. You know, he got stopped by Dimitri Perot. We don't know if he had already developed the onset of cancer at that point, but I mean, you're fighting Derevyanchenko, who had an 80+% knockout ratio. You're fighting Triple G when he had 21 knockouts in a row. You know, I think y'all got to leave Jacobs' chin alone. You fought Peter Quillen and iced him in one round. I mean, he's been in with punchers. Luis Cuba Arias, Maj Selesky stopped Hugo Centeno Jr. I think that shit should be dead immediately, because he's obviously tough. You know, you can't hold him. Like, people see, the reason why, I'm not trying to pick on anyone, but the reason why people say Amir Khan has no chin, or a glass chin, or whatever they say, is because he's getting hurt by people he probably shouldn't. You know, okay, Danny Jacobs, Braden Prescott, okay, they hurt you, but you also got clipped up by Chris Algieri coming off a loss to Pacquiao, you know, and hurt in round 1. You got floored at a catchweight by a lightweight, Julio Diaz, and you fought him at 143. You got dropped by Samuel Vargas. You got knocked out by Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Jacobs is not like that. He got dropped by Triple G once and then fought better, you know, didn't get dropped by, you know, Luis Cuba Arias, who has some power and amateur background. Didn't get dropped by Maj Selesky. In fact, he dropped Maj Selesky. He didn't get dropped by Derevyanchenko, an 80%+ knockout puncher. And he dropped, in fact, Derevyanchenko. So, you know, that chin shit, it should be a wrap for Jacobs. You guys got to, you know, jump off. You can't really say that anymore. But, you know, Jacobs keeps taking the tall orders, you know, that other people probably don't want to fight. Like I said, Triple G easily could have fought Derevyanchenko. It would have been a better fight, just based off of what I seen previously from Derevyanchenko and what I seen tonight with Jacobs. That easily would have went more than 2 rounds and or been a better fight for Triple G than Vanes Martirosyan, coming off a 2-year layoff and, you know, coming up from 154 and coming off a loss to Erislandy Lara. Bar none. There's no way anyone convinced me otherwise, because Derevyanchenko, at the very least, through all his faults or whatever you liked or didn't like from his style, the motherfucker's tough. He was coming. You know, he developed, you know, it looked like he was fatiguing, and he just bit down and kept pushing. And some of the championship rounds he won. So, you know, by far, he would have, and we know Jacobs has power, so he would have easily been a better option than Vanes Martirosyan, and it wasn't worth getting stripped over. Now Triple G has no belt, you know, but it is what it is. Congrats to Jacobs. Shout out to Derevyanchenko. Based on that performance, I'll definitely watch him again. It's not a given, you know. I wouldn't mind seeing like a Charlo versus somebody like Derevyanchenko. It's not like he was just getting mopped up and, you know, his career's over. You know, he can take this and learn from it. I didn't personally see it a split decision. I thought the knockdown and then rounds 3 to, you know, mid to late rounds up until like the championship rounds, I thought Jacobs was handily winning. But as long as the right person won, you know, that's more important. It's not like nobody got robbed. And this is a learning lesson for Derevyanchenko. But salute to both. We got a new champion in middleweight. The middleweight division is jumping. Can't wait till 2019. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.